Casino ready for game number 4, getting underway in day number 1, and we are about to have the West Coast matchup here on the East Coast. This is going to be a battle for SoCal as the OC Stunners take on the Ontario Matadors. And to be clear, this is Ontario, California, not Ontario, Canada. So these teams are about 45 minutes away from each other, and this one is sure to deliver. We are currently, OC Stunners had a very disappointing first event. They went 0-3. Ontario Matadors overhauled their roster quite a bit, and they came off a weekend that they played very well, but went 1-2. So a lot of good pieces to look for on these squads. Definitely excited. What's your kind of takeaway, or what are you thinking to see here?
Yeah, a long way to travel for kind of a home court match that's 45 minutes apart from one another in LA. But, everyone's under the same adversity here. So I expect to see some high emotions and some good squads. And, this match could go either way. A lot of new faces on both groups, but it should be a very exciting match, Nick.
Yeah, and on one of the big pickups that we're going to see here, maybe if you follow USA Volleyball at all, we've got number 4, Josh Eisenberg, fresh off of a season playing for Tel Aviv in Israel. So he got home, had a week at home, and then headed straight out, getting ready to battle with the Orange County Stunners here. So that'll be a big boost for the team. They've also picked up 2 new setters. Spencer Andrews is still currently injured, so they had to replace that spot. So we're going to see, and I'm gonna butcher this one, so I'll get into it in a little bit. But it's Nikola Dimitrijevic. I think I'll get that one a little bit better, but it was a first time on air, so bear with me.
Work on that phonetic one right there. But and also Corey Chavers is back for the Stunners as well. So former UCSB Gaucho has been playing overseas for the last 2 years, and played in Salt Lake City in the tournament there last November. But I know the Stunners are excited to have him back too. Yeah,
and he had a pretty crippling injury then. He was in a lot of back pain. He was almost unable to move. The match they had to bring him in was because they were suffering other injuries. So we're going to see a very healthy Chavers here. That I can assure you. He's been killing it in the gym down in Southern California. So that'll be an exciting one to see play out here. Now on the side of the Matadors, they've had a very well-rounded roster anchored in the middle by number 15, Martin Patrice. On the outside, we're seeing Mauro Isaac. Another one I'm going to try to get right for all those Mauro fans out there. Big hitter. He's from Mexico. He's played down in Brazil, had a very colored career for such a young player. And on the right side, Jacob Vanderbeek, being nicknamed Thor by the fans of the Matadors, absolutely lays down the hammer on the right side. A well-rounded, diverse player. So look for a lot of action out there as well. This one is sure to deliver. But if you had to put some money on it based on what you know, where are you going with this one?
I'm going to take the Stunners in 4. Although the asterisk is that you've got some new setters with the Stunners. There might be some connection issues there. Nick Amado, the middle blocker for the Stunners, he got hurt in the last event. So, I know he's been nursing kind of a bum ankle for a little while. But, some new combos on both sides. But I'm going to go Stunners in 4 on this one.
I think you're dead on. I think the things that kind of give you the hesitation is exactly where I'm feeling the same way. They've got the best middle core probably in the NVA. Powerhouses between Nick West from Hawaii. You've got Nick Amado from Cal State Long Beach boasting 2 rings from national championships there. You've got Shane Beamer from UCSD returning from a successful season, being the most valuable middle blocker overseas in Denmark. And not here this weekend is Penn State middle Kevin Gear. So across the board, they are just loaded in the middle.
Yeah, they're definitely physically much larger in stature. I mean, when you compare the two teams in size alone, I mean, you've got some big boys for the Stunners, and not that the Matadors are short by any means, but they're just, a little bit maybe less physically imposing than the Stunners are, and, it'll be interesting to see that kind of, comparison play out here.
It really is, and there is no doubt that these guys have a variety of options that, they run a great offense. We see Serrano, number 1, their setter. Jesus just is a physical setter as himself. He'll hit on balls. He's going to, take some big serve swings. So definitely going to be a good look for that team. Now, a new pickup that they've got that is You talk about physically imposing. He's the exact opposite. Coming in at about 5'10", 5'11", number 4. Their Peruvian outside. That's going to be Alvaro Hidalgo. He's supposedly has some pretty good success on the Peruvian national team. So there's a country we haven't yet seen represented in the NVA, and excited to see him.
Not every day you see a 5'9" outside hitter. So
that is also very true. All right. Demi comes out with a huge serve to start, puts that float right down the line, and an ace to draw first blood.
Right out of the gate. Jump float serve, your first serve as a NVA player, and you get an ace. It's a pretty good start.
Tipped over the top, punched by Eisenberg. Joey Jarvis not able to track that one down. And that's going to be Serrano. Like I said, loves these aggressive jump serves, so definitely look for him to get after this right out of the gates. Great pass by Eisenberg. Goes to the middle, and Nick Amado makes himself heard early on. That is what the OC Stunners are all about. Putting on a great show. Huge pass there from Eisenberg.
Yeah, all around 3 great contacts, perfect pass, nice set. And obviously Nick Amado with the thunderous kill for his first point of this match.
Chavers with a huge serve that moves the net as he finds a point. And this is where this new Stunners team is really firing on all cylinders and is a bit more what we expected at Event 1. They are returning to form in quick fashion.
And we're seeing kind of their MO is the emotion that they play with, right? And you're seeing it from the get-go, really big celebrations. But one of their sort of Achilles heels has always been, peaks and valleys. So they got to be able to maintain their emotions throughout the match, and hopefully, don't go too far down that valley if the ball starts not bouncing in your favor.
You couldn't be more right. Definitely something to keep an eye on here. Jarvis manages the swing. Easy little chop by Malero handled. Vanderbeek gets a tool off of the outside of the block. Jose Malero is going to be a big part of this defense. Number 11. Short in stature, big in heart, and absolutely follows through regularly.
A big part of the defense is a good alliteration there, Nick. Yep. I prefer to say a key part of the defense.
Hey, there it is. And there's Amato, tries to go back once again. Roll over the top. Backs. That's going to be a little log jam there. It's going to be Eisenberg taking the second ball for the Stunners. Tipped over the top and punched up by Vanderbeek. Outside, and Maru Isek is shut down by the triple block of the OC Stunners. Nick Amado, Jair Santiago, and Joey Jarvis get that one done.
Yeah, you see the blockers of the Stunners here kind of making their presence felt early. That's a pretty large front row for them, and to have 3 of those guys blocking all at the same time is going to make Isaac's life a little bit challenging here over the next hour and a half.
Absolutely. Vanderbeek throws that one across the court, and now Mauro. Oh, great dig by Nick Amado. Jair goes for that off speed, but there's a triple block, and Isek is determined to get his block. You'll love to see the back-to-back triple blocks, teams taking each other's, trading blows.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Jair come in with a little bit more aggressive swing on that, try to aim for the high hands and use the block instead of do a roll shot that was just sort of swatted back at him.
Great pass there from Jarvis. And a big attack from Corey Chavers. If you want to know what world-class talent looks like, that's what it is. He's had years playing in Italy and in top leagues all around the world. Chavers with one of the biggest big attacks we've seen of the weekend.
Yeah, 6'5" outside hitter. Kid's super athletic. He's fast. He can jump really well. That was not the fastest bick we've seen, but obviously very effective.
Santiago goes for a little bit of an uncharacteristic off speed there. Maybe didn't see the toss he wanted. Not sure. I didn't get a great look at it, but
hard to tell. I just saw kind of a deceleration there of his arm and kind of rolled that serve right into the net. So
Vanderbeek relies on both a jump serve and a float serve. I expect that we're going to see the jump. Oh, float serve to start. Good movement on that. Jarvis with a big swing. That's going to be reset by Malero. To the middle, and that's a kill there for Brett Massetti.
Massetti flying out of the middle. Getting a good kill in transition. Obviously, great pass set up by Malero there. And Stunners just need to find a little offensive rhythm there with the outside hitter, I believe, to Jarvis. But nice transition by the Matadors.
Good float serve. It's going to be a bailout swing on the D ball. And that Jair not quite able to find that one. Right now, the Matadors, when you're playing a team that's as big as the Stunners are, it's really on the Matadors to just play discipline, force them to make mistakes, and earn the points that you can, because there is so much size there that it's really just a knockdown, drag-out fight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Nick. If you're a smaller blocker, smaller offensive hitter, technically you've got to be on point, right, when you're playing against the bigger teams and the bigger players.
And there's a nice pickup on there from Vanderbeek to extend that rally, but that is a triple block. You're seeing Demi getting in on the side. You're seeing Corey Shavers getting in on the left, and that's a well-formed triple.
Yeah, we've been talking about that all day, seeing a three-man block in front of you, especially in transition. You have to work hard to get that three-man block in front of your hitter, especially if you're that third blocker coming across, and it pays off if you're able to get it done.
High set to the outside, and that's what Mauro Isaac prefers. Doesn't find the court, though, here. He looks for that angle. He is definitely someone that loves going into the angle of the court, swings that 4-4 so well, but not able to get it to work for him there.
Yeah, he's an aggressive hitter, you can tell, but still early, lots of action still ahead of us.
Great high contact from Jarvis. Goes to Vanderbeek on the D-ball, dug by Eisenberg. High set outside. Chavers is going to get a rip here, and a rip he does, but that's dug into the net, pulled out by Malero. West handles the overpass. Malero's going to bump set. Step close, Doug. Demi's to the outside. Chavers has to manage, and he finds the lefty chop over the top. Wow, that play delivered.
It's pretty high-level action right now, Nick. I mean, we're only 15 points into this match. We've got some haymakers being thrown in both directions here, and even Corey Chavers throwing in a little lefty transitional high swing chop into the middle of the court for that point.
Yeah, and Matadors had a 7-5 lead. Stunners going a 3-point run to bring that one back and take the technical timeout on their terms. So great little run here being strung together by the Stunners. And like you said, they really just want to be in the moment. They want to be, finding those big digs and big moments to score their points.
Yeah, big digs is what you were touched on for me, is Eisenberg really is making a huge contribution already. You saw him down the line, dig that ball. He's got great presence on the court. This is the first time we've seen him with the Stunners this season. So, running the defensive show and the serve-receive kind of protocols. He's doing a great job so far as well, and excited to see what else he can do for his squad on defense. Also, we haven't seen a lot of back row attack, other than we've seen a fair amount of D-balls, but not even as much as we were seeing at Event 1. So to see that BIC get established so early with Shavers, I'm really excited to see, if that's something we can look for regularly. And you talk to, trying to establish connections with your hitters early. But Demi's already set Nick Amado for a huge one ball. We got Shavers in that nice little gap over the shoulder coming out of the back row. The connection seems pretty well established, maybe kind of honing in some of those sets out to the pin, but the middle of the court is well established. Yeah, well, having Corey Shavers is going to be a huge add for the Stunners, because it's going to take some pressure off Jair at the opposite position, and also Joey Jarvis is the other outside hitter. So having Corey available all the time, front row and back row, that's going to be a huge advantage. It actually makes the Stunners just that much more dangerous, Couldn't be more right. This is an interesting one. Jair was formerly on the Ontario Matadors, so this is a bit of a grudge match for him. He swapped over to another SoCal team. I think it's going to be a grudge match every time these two teams play against each other. Oh, yeah. Like I said, when you get this many SoCal teams with all the presence and prowess of the players down there, it's always going to be a great one to check out. And there's Joey Jarvis picking up an ace in the seam between the outsides. Mauro puts that one high and is going to force an out-of-system swing into a triple block. And the block of Shavers, West, and Demi gets that job done wonderfully. Bit unfortunate there for the Matadors. That ball probably should have been covered. It was not a very strong, authoritative block. It was a little bit more of a deflection rollback that found the floor. So Matadors got to help themselves out on that one. Stunners now on a 5-point run. Nice pass by Hidalgo.
And that's the authoritative block. That one went more straight down after being touched by the middles.
Yeah, that might be a block that Vanderbeek really hasn't seen very much of, because that was a large blocker in front of him. Corey Chavers is technically very sound, getting his hands quick and over the net. We've got a perfect view from it right here, and really Vanderbeek had nowhere to go on that swing.
And Nick West is one of the most sure-handed middle blockers in the league. He is so disciplined about closing out to the outside pins. He gets his hands in, and he just knows how to penetrate over the net, and it is very difficult. As an outside hitter, when you're trying to hit that out-of-system ball and really put something together, he takes away so many options, and now they've added Eisenberg behind him. It feels like they've got an answer to everything.
Well, I think we're going to see some of the best blocking today with the Stunners, and maybe all this weekend and perhaps throughout the entire rest of the season, right? But already they've made their presence felt on several three-man blocks. Corey Chavers really putting that good block right there with Amado and West as well. This is going to be a handful for all the other teams in this league to hit against.
It really is, and if you're another team in the NVA, start watching now, because this is not the same team that we saw at Event 1. So if you already got your win, be happy, be thankful, because they aren't coming that easy. Jarvis goes off speed, pass by opposite Vanderbeek. Massetti tips over the top, and that one goes wide. Doesn't find the court. Good recognition there by Vanderbeek that's going to be a fourth man in the serve receive kind of accidentally there. Actually, looks like they're doing a little bit of a shift here. They are going to almost a full four-man serve receive, and Isaac is just expected to take the short serve. Vanderbeek, as a pin hitter who is very versatile, stepping into the serve receive. Off speed, pass by Mulero. Outside to Mauro. There it is. That's what Isaac was looking for. Big kill through the seam of the block.
Yeah, that was a nice high swing right there. Kind of hung and turned it back cross body. Looked like he was going to hit cross court. I think he saw a seam there and was able to hit the meat of the court.
Big jump server here, so we'll see how the Stunners are able to battle back with this one. Big set to the outside. That's a high-level swing, but that's tracked down. Mulero tracks it in, and there's going to be the dump from Serrano. Our production team once again catches all of their equipment as we see the hustle from Mulero absolutely paying off in the physicality from Serrano as he delivers a great dump down the funnel of the block of West.
Credit to Mulero for running that ball down and nearly taking out our whole production crew. But nice rundown by him.
Great pass by Eisenberg. And there's the hard angle.
Corey Chavers is just hitting the ball on another level right now. I mean, I forgot how high he can jump. I mean, he's attacking the ball at the top of or above the top of the pin, and he's really got a lot of range to hit from with some good velocity behind it.
West loves hitting a variety of serves. We're going to see the jump serve here, attacking down that line. Good pass by Isaac. But it's going to give one option, but that one option is more than happy to deliver. That's going to be Hidalgo on the left side there with a big kill off the block.
Yeah, nice swing by the 5'9" outside hitter from Lima, Peru. Good to see him get action here, offensively speaking. I don't think that was his ideal set, but it was pretty good nonetheless.
Jarvis airs that out. Covered by Eisenberg on the dump attempt. Sent over by Jair. And there's the big swing. We talk about it. When he's a front row setter and he doesn't take the second ball, he is now a front row opposite. He is more than happy to put his hands away and get a big cannon out and hit that one instead.
Yep, was always a constantly offensive-minded setter who wants to be involved offensively, and that's what he did right there.
And we are seeing the blocks right now from the Matadors answering back beautifully. We had a dump attempt there from Demi in the last rally, and they were able to push that one back. Now getting a stop on the middle. Amado is number 18. That's going to be Gabriel Cruz. Chavers a little bit off balance, and off balance is where he lives. That's a great high swing down that line angle. Gets the point.
Yeah, Corey just kind of hung in the air right there on that one. He kind of had to fall back and give it a little fadeaway spike kind of, but able to find the open court. It's well played by him.
Demi floats it down the line. Great pass by Hidalgo. And there's the big attack. But Chavers and Amado read that like a book.
Nick Amado with his patented dive into the angle kind of block move that he made a living on at Long Beach State. Stepped right into the approach line of Isaac and was able to get his hands over for a nice block.
Tight pass. That's going to be an over, and Jair swats that one back.
What? Oh.
Okay. Net, a little bit of a miscommunication. We were shocked, and that was quickly corrected there.
Uh-oh. Hold on now. Oh, no. Hold on. We have some drama here. First thing was that now it's being called a replay, it looks like.
I'm going to hold. I don't know what just happened.
He was going to call a back row attack, but I think he blew his whistle too soon and was taking a replay.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Demi here hits that float serve just short. So, a big thing to keep in mind at home is when we're watching these guys serve, a great thing to learn from is watching who they're serving at. So right now you're seeing that the Stunners are trying to break down Isak's passing before he can hit. So he's been the target of a lot of these serves. We'll see that unfold as this match goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you always have to have a serving target, in part of your game strategy. And it's usually not the libero, since that's, a specialized position to pass and play defense. Usually that front row outside hitter. Okay, try to take them out of their approach line or serve them short, play some kind of games. Or you attack the seams, right, between the players and try to determine which seam is a better target to go for throughout the match.
Right now, the Stunners really do feel like they're firing on all cylinders. And, even when the Matadors are getting some great block touches, the Stunners just have so many offensive weapons that a stop here and there just means that Demi can just go wherever else he wants, and it feels like they're right back in it. So it's going to require the Matadors to keep grinding, keep doing what they're doing, find some defensive moves, and they are one of the scrappiest teams in the league. So if anyone can do it, it is the guys in yellow over there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, for anybody else watching that's got to play against the Stunners, like you said earlier, start taking your shot charts out and really, analyzing what they're doing offensively, because at this point we don't see a whole lot of holes in their offense, right? They're hitting the ball pretty high. Attack lines are smart. They're well balanced out of the back row and front row, quick attacks, left sides, right sides. So, going to be interesting to see strategies and how it evolves against these two teams in this match, but then also, as the other teams are preparing to play these guys as well.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting that when we saw Joey Jarvis last at Event 1, even though he was there, he had not played since the previous November because in Canada, COVID had shut everything down and not given him access. So he was dealing with a little bit of, not long-term injuries, but just stuff that wasn't quite where he needed it to be. And so he's been grinding a lot in the last month and a half getting ready for this event. So he's going to be back in form quite a bit more as well.
Yeah, putting the work in outside the gym to prepare himself, his body to, carry the load and be more impactful for his squad.
There's Amado finding a way to score. A little bit of a misconnection there on that 3 route or a gap ball, but able to tip it over and find a hole all the same. And that's something you buy yourself, that little bit of court. When you can hammer the ball the same way he does, defense is going to give you a little bit of respect. Kept alive. Free ball coming back, taken by Eisenberg.
It's a nice hustle by Hernandez there. Just unfortunate that his momentum carried him under the net for a center line violation. Obviously a good serve there. 2 great serves from Corey Chavers. And, unfortunately, when you go that far over the center line, you're going to be called for an infraction or an interference, and that was the case.
Wow, huge serve by Chavers. Great pass by Malero. Serrano swings it back, and one-on-one, Joey Jarvis ends the swing of Hidalgo. Right back into that angle. What a great one-on-one blocking move. A little show and take, and putting on a show for us here is Joey Jarvis. Going right back to it, but this time returns. Little bit of chirping through that net as Hidalgo looks to get his point I love seeing the things heat up a little bit and everyone getting their blows.
It was a good rebound by Hidalgo there after his, getting blocked on the previous play. If I'm Joey Jarvis, I want to take even more angle on the second one because I think he's going to go for that harder swing that he did.
Especially if Josh Eisenberg is behind you.
Touché.
Nice little rebound. Once again, I love to see the emotions running high. These are two very emotionally driven teams. So to see Hidalgo go back and hit that quick cut across the body and get Eisenberg with an ace, big point for Matadors. And there's Nick Amado, returns in kind, goes right back to the 10-foot line, opens that one up, and hammers that ball home.
Yeah, give some credit to Shavers there for that pass. He's able to handle the heat from Hidalgo and really put that pass right on the money for Amado to get a nice quick attack kill.
Amado typically hits a float serve. He's been doing a lot of serving while his ankle's been recovering. There it is. Good hand pass by Isaac. Vanderbeek hides that tip over the top well. Jarvis gets that wipe off the hands. And there's a big touch. Nick West went onto the ground after that blocking move, so it was Joey Jarvis knew he needed to end that rally right there.
I missed that one, but it was a nice heads-up play by Joey to wipe that off the block and send it up to the rafters.
And that's going to be 22-15, a 7-point lead. The Stunners have really opened this one up, and that's what we talk so much about, right, is just we can't say it enough, the offensive prowess. When number 15, Jair Santiago, who more or less had to put the team on his back at Event 1, I don't know if he's got more than 1 or 2 kills right now.
Yeah, we're seeing a very well-rounded offense running from the OC Stunners for sure, which is really almost scary to think about because of just their personnel and what they're doing, and seeing a setter come in and really flow each position and spread the wealth a little bit. That was also something we didn't see in the first event after the setter went down with the injury, and we had to see some other guys kind of step in that aren't true setters. So it's a very different team right now, the Stunners, in their best interests.
Absolutely, in the best interest of the league as well, living up to the name, delivering a flashy performance. So definitely going to be a team to watch in the upcoming, they've got a 3-0 this weekend too after that 0-3 if they want to get to where they're, that team aspires to be. There's that jump serve from Amado. Mauro Isaac goes right through and he challenges the 6'7 block of West and the 6'10 block of Santiago. Talk about playing above your size. Great aggressive swing on the outside.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to have to do. I mean, they can't tone it down or turn it down a little bit just because they're maybe a little bit undersized. They got to keep playing hard and being smart, though, about their choices.
That's going to be a service error for number 18, Gabriel Cruz. Jair Santiago has 2 preferred serves. He goes deep cross-court angle and hard line. So it's all about what he's going after, and we'll see that right here. There's that deep angle. Doesn't quite find the back line there, though.
That is one thing that we've seen about Jair's serving is that it's not always very consistent to start with. It tends to maybe try to hit it a little too hard right out of the gate, and we've talked about this before in the past, is to kind of get yourself going, make that first one, hit it about 80%, find a rhythm, right? If you get to score the point and go back, turn it up a little bit, we'll see if you can make that adjustment.
Good little float drop in there from Vanderbeek. Nice set over Serrano. He sees the block so well. What a great move to send that one over.
Nice heads-up play. Great dig by Malero. Put it right on the money to give Hernandez the opportunity to do that, right, and sets it over on 2. Stunners weren't ready for it.
Vanderbeek with another float. This time he gets the ace. They are attacking Shavers. Shavers is their guy, it sure looks like, and able to get that ace.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. I mean, I think Corey should maybe think about passing that ball with his hands as it kind of rose up on him a little bit, but interesting to see the tactics here.
That's the benefit of a great float. Gets it that time. Goes for the back row attack, and Mulero in a little bit of an, I don't know where he was, to be honest, that he was charging that ball like that. But I think he saw a roll shot and was charging for a tip over the top and wasn't expecting that placement from Shavers. So a real game of cat and mouse there unfolding, and Chavers comes out on top.
A little bait and hook kind of thing.
Yep. We might have had the score off by 1, but I think we are all settled in now. 23-19 looks to be good. Jarvis hits a variety of serves out of this toss. See what he goes for here. Little off speed, good pass by Hidalgo. Isaac goes to the outside, once again ready to challenge that block. Great
I think
kill.
that ball's diggable as well. It was, kind of slowed down by the front row guys there. Jair just kind of got caught, his feet tangled up with him underneath him a little bit there, but should have possibly had that dig.
Yep. Mauro with a big serve. Going right back to Nick West, and the middles are just a power duo here on the side of the OC Stunners.
Yeah, Nick West comboing with Nick Amado. I mean, we've seen it. That's a nice attack line by Nick, kind of, being on the right side of the court. He kind of chops it back to Area 1, using the whole 900 square feet. Was, good spot by him.
There's West, not afraid to go after that serve. And this is something I've been talking about all weekend long. And when you've got the lead, you've got servers like Nick West, green light all day. If you've got 4 points, you're on match point, you like to see it go in. But at the same time, the serving pressure is so important for the Stunners. Brett Massetti puts a float in, and Nick Amado turns that one back off the hands. And Demi is absolutely determined to keep his middles involved. And I love that as an identity for the team that I would confidently say has the best middles in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see that they like setting middle, setting quick as much as they could do. They did that a lot right there, back to back. Quick front row, quick back ones with their middles, moving the guys around. And when you've got Nick West and Nick Amado, I mean, you got to set the ball. They got to produce for you.
Absolutely. And it's crazy to me that there's a world where Shane Beamer is on the bench. It is so scary to have that be your third middle, a guy that could not arguably, he could start on any team in the league. He is that well established, and so, you love to see that Demi steps in, been with the team for maybe a week or two, knows already how he wants to run this offense and how he wants this game to look. So it also speaks to the passing quality that we're seeing from the Stunners too. Eisenberg in there really proven to be an anchor and, leveling this team out nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been 2 real great additions right there between the setter, Demi, and Eisenberg in the libero position playing back row. Got some good quality digs. Obviously some great passing and able to set the middles as much as they had. Comes from them passing, because if you can't pass the ball up to the net, then you can't set your middles. So the passing of the Stunners has been really impressive so far.
Now, and to speak true to their name, the Matadors trying to battle with the bull that is the Stunners over there. Something that they're doing so well is we're still seeing aggressive swings. Mauro Isaac is determined not to roll over. He's challenging this big block. We're seeing contributions from Serrano. He's gotten a couple kills himself, but as the setter, you see those offensive contributions, you're clicking. Mulero is one of the biggest talked about names on this squad back row, so they are just ready to battle. And it's all about what are those little X factor adjustments that they can make. Can we see Gabriel Cruz in the middle? Can we see Brett Massetti? Can we see some offense from them? Can we see continued blocking prowess? What are they able to contribute?
Well, one thing we need to see more of is Vanderbeek. Okay, he didn't really make a strong offensive performance in that first set. I think he didn't get a lot of opportunities, right? Because the Stunners, they're blocking really well. Their service pressure is really strong. So Vanderbeek's going to have to be more involved maybe from the inline with his serves, and then that could possibly translate offensively into a couple more point-scoring opportunities for him.
Absolutely, and if you chart Vanderbeek at all, Vanderbeek's swing is to go line, more line, and get after it. So I'll be curious to see. That's such a beneficial thing for an offense because he wants to get all the way out to that pin, and that for a setter can start to open up other players like your middles, your outsides, things like that, and force the blockers in West and Amado to really have to make some difficult decisions.
Yeah, I think, for Vanderbeek it's going to be tricky because he's going up against such big blockers from the Stunners, Offensively speaking, can he do it? For sure. Can he kind of chisel and aim high hands? Yeah, absolutely he can. But it's going to be a challenge for anyone in yellow right now, hitting against this bigger blocking team from, the OC Stunners.
And you're seeing the guy right there, number 17, Jacob Vanderbeek. But one of the things that's so critical about having a player like him, we saw it earlier, he stepped into serve receive. He's one of the best defensive opposites in the league. He blocks and contributes blocking wonderfully. He's a threat with a variety of serves and from the hitting. So he's one of those guys that even if one thing of his game isn't quite clicking, he has plenty of other ways to impact this roster in a meaningful way. And I would definitely look for that to happen here in Game 2.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Nick. I think figuring out a little bit of a self-challenge puzzle piece is how can you contribute more if you're maybe under-contributing in some other areas. And so Vanderbeek's going to have to figure that out, get with his team, whether it's just, helping his squad out from an emotional standpoint and just, supporting one another, or figuring out how to score those points, that maybe he didn't have his best first set because we've seen him play better than that.
And one of the funny parts about this team, so you've got, Molero from Puerto Rico, Isaac is from Mexico, now you've got Hidalgo from Peru, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Serrano is from San Diego. If I'm wrong on that, that's the one I'm not sure on, so sorry about that. But it's funny because many of them are a Spanish first speaker, and so oftentimes Vanderbeek is the only native English speaker in some of the huddles, and so it's funny to talk to him, laugh about coming back to this squad. He's like, yeah, I forget sometimes that sometimes there's plans going on that I'm not a part of.
Some language barriers that can kind of get cracked a little bit, but it's all still volleyball at the end of the day.
And that one goes long. And it's funny because it's happening the way you wouldn't expect here in the NVA, right? The Ramblers picked up a new outside, Kevin, and he doesn't speak a whole lot of English. So one guy being on the outside, that's something many U.S. pros are familiar with when they go overseas.
Yep.
But funny to see it happening here. A little trade of missed serves as Demi sends that one long. If not, you see it happen once, maybe twice, why not thrice? Go for, let's see if we can get Shavers, though, to deliver a little bit more pressure as we start this game in a race to 23 and 24, respectively.
I think the last match that I did a couple hours ago, there was 5 straight missed serves back and forth. Compounding.
Can we make that run happen again? We're at 4 right now. In true form, we are here at Harrah's in Atlantic City. If you guys want to start placing some bets on how many it's going to be, what a great venue to make it happen.
Sportsbook is open.
5? Now is the time, Matt. Are you doubling down on number 6?
I'll be right back.
Little tongue-in-cheek, and unfortunately, sometimes men volleyball, it's got to be better in this aspect, and there's nothing more to do than see if one of these guys can shore it up, and Nick Amado puts it in. Puts his hands up in a little bit of celebration as he celebrates being the guy to break the run.
You should never celebrate to just make your serve.
I know.
But if you know Nick, he likes to keep it fresh and a lot of smiles on the court from him.
Absolutely, and he acknowledges the crowd saying you're welcome as he heads back to the bench. He knows what the people want to see. Vanderbeek with a great float. Backside to Jair Santiago, swings that high angle, and we're seeing Martin Patrice enter the lineup now for the Matadors. Makes a big block move there and not quite able to get the touch that he wants.
Quick service check here for the Stunners on who their next server is going to be. Jair, number 15, goes back. Jair Santiago, 6'10" opposite.
Good off speed, there it is. And that's one of those things that he does so well is he establishes himself as a server that hits some of the hardest balls in the league. And he's developed over the last couple months, he's been really working on that off speed. And it really, really hard to pass when you've got, you're dug in, ready to dig a serve. And he goes that off speed, catches the Matador sleeping a little bit there.
It looks like Jair's been spending some time in the gym, considering where we were about 6 weeks ago with these guys.
A guy that's always ready to put in the work, and there's Patrice putting in work in the middle for the Matadors. Cuts that hard angle, goes, looked like over the top of a helping block from Jarvis. Isaac looking for a start to a nice run here for the Matadors. Big swing, and, you know, we talked about that he was a little quiet in game one because he didn't need to do much more. But right now he said, guys, I'll let y'all have your fun. It's game two. It's my turn.
Yeah. The blocking matchup, Hidalgo against, 6'10" Jair opposite with a front row setter is going to be pretty challenging for the Matadors. And the Stunners should look to take full advantage of that throughout this match.
There's that aggressive toss that got away from Jarvis just a bit, and so he, by the time his hand's able to get there, that one's going to be a little bit too low, sends that one into the net. Short float, one of Patrice's favorite serves. Shavers attacks, a nice dig by Patrice. Backside to Vanderbeek, blocked by the combo of West and Shavers.
Yeah, nice rebound there by Shavers to not get that first attempt kill, but come back and set up a nice block for him and Nick West to get shoulder to shoulder on, and Vanderbeek can't get the ball past it. So,
like you said, there's going to be one of those big objects in the way that is the Stunners block. Bump set outside. Hidalgo with a nice controlled swing. Stunners go to the outside for them, and Shavers tries to roll that one but catches a little too much tape, and that one rolls a foot more than he wants it to before going out of bounds.
Yeah, Shavers trying to employ a little beach cutty shot there inside the walls of Harris Casino, but just missed it wide. The spot was open. He just missed it.
It looked like a bit of a foot fault there. Yep, foot fault is called. I saw that as well. Big enough that the up ref saw it, even if the line judge didn't make the call himself. But that's going to take us to an 8-6 lead as the Stunners go into the first technical timeout. You know, Matador is still battling here, so they're far, far, far from out of this. But it's, you got to mitigate those kind of errors. The foot fault's a tough one, especially with Serrano being the guy that'll go back and open up some nice runs for you. Yeah,
that's one of those errors that you just never want to make. I mean, foot faulting on a jump serve when your jump serve was in as well. Yep. Right. But, the characteristic of the Matadors is definitely not to shy away from a challenge, obviously. Kind of goes with their namesake, I think, if
it really does.
Kind of compare to that. But, they know they're in for a battle, and they're not afraid by any means. I mean, they're coming right back to them and going right at the Matadors. Right at the Stunners. And, they still do have a long way to go. We're still pretty early on in this match, so anything can happen, really.
It's funny you made the comment about the Matadors name. It's something that I love so much about the NBA is when all these teams are being created, the owners picked names and identities for their teams and the way that they recruit, the way they train. And so many of these teams really resemble and embody what their name is, their colors are. And it's crazy how much the story almost writes itself.
Yeah, it is very unique and really easy to buy into from a fan's point of view. And you pick a team that you like the way that they play, and typically their name's going to match it.
And there's the huge block coming in, the double block there. That's going to be Gabriel Cruz alongside number 17, Jacob Vanderbeek. That's going to shut down that big swing over there from Jair Santiago. Hidalgo now to jump serve. Handled by Eisenberg. Middle attack from Amado, and he's ready to return fire in kind.
Yeah, Demi just throwing it in from off the net, too, about 8-9 feet off, and has that connection established already with Nick that he can set him from anywhere on the court.
Amado gives you probably the biggest hitting setting window for any middle in the league. Mulero's going to bump set to the backside, and Mauro Isaac goes. Deep swing, picked up by Shavers. They go right back to him on the bick. It's rolled over, picked up again. And there's a dig by Shavers. But Annette is going to end that rally. Outside's doing some good work from the Stunners, but better work on the side of the Matadors, ready to grind that one out and earn that point, bringing them back within 1 point of the Stunners.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate net violation there as Corey Chavers did dig that ball. But obviously I believe it was someone from the Stunners team was in the net. So.
And there's the ace. You talk about bringing yourself within 1 point and striking when it's crucial. Well, there it is. Gabriel Cruz picks that one up to go 9-9.
Yeah, nice little cut jump serve into the angle there. There's a little stack on that side of the court right now with Nick Amado coming in from the middle. And that one finds the net.
Amado, once again, he's already hit a variety of serves that we've talked about here. We'll see if he's able to get after it and see if he can open up this lead beyond just 1 point right now. Good float. Isak's going to have to put that one in the middle. Vanderbeek looks to save it and does not quite find the court. That's a tough play all the same. Not to net and then to keep that one alive. That's it's a big ask.
It was a little tricky. He came close, but, again, high hands, try to take a swing and, use the blocker, maybe get it off out of bounds into the wall or something like that, but easier said than done. Oh, wait a minute. Blocked back into, it looked like the hitter, and give credit to Nick West for that big block, as I think someone was trying to go cross court, but point goes to the Stunners, and now they find themselves up by 3 as Nick Amado continues to serve.
Great pass by Isak, but there's an even better set by Serrano. Nice block touch. Stunners are rallying back, and there's going to be a net. Yep, called the triple block, pushed into the net there.
Yeah, net violation on the Matadors. Just a little too overzealous on the aggressive move. I believe it was Vanderbeek just caught the net maybe with his hip or his forearm.
One of those hard things, right? When you start seeing big swings from a team as a blocker, you try to match it with big block moves. And sometimes that can yield undisciplined moves at the same time. And right there, love to see the triple coming out from the Matadors, but unfortunately catch that net there. So I like to see that triple block all the same. But
yeah, we've been talking about it a little bit throughout the day so far on the efforts of making that move to get a triple block and having 6 hands in front of the hitter and how it can really pay dividends for you. You see it employed a lot more, on the international level and here domestically in college. But really, you have to have a well-formed 3-man block, and you've got to work hard to work around it as well. If you're doing that right, it can be very effective.
And that's where plugging in someone like Eisenberg back there, when you put up 3 blockers, you open up yourself to some shots or a variety of stuff that you now lose that off blocker to help out. Eisenberg is the absolute trash collector back there. He's going to be able to find all that, see it early, reads the hitters very well, and just capitalizes on that. It's a huge piece of this new Stunners lineup. Yeah,
as a libero, you have to know if there's a 3-man block in front of you, you've got to work extra hard to get all the other junk that might come into that space where that third blocker started from.
Amado back once again. Goes for that float. Really forces them out of system here. Isak has to go one-on-one. And I say one-on-one, sorry, he's the only option, but he is certainly not one-on-one. He finds 3 Stunners and a triple block on the right side.
Yeah, that was 1-on-3, Nick.
Yep. Math is not on his side there. But it all starts with a pass. A lot of pressure from Nick Amado here. Hidalgo puts that one off as well. Air ball out, and there's the double block. Amado makes a great diving move. And, I talk to Amado, and I always bring this up, but Amado is he's a prospect of he's a result of the Cal State Long Beach system where Coach Alan Knipe doesn't train middles. He trains volleyball players, and he believes that in all aspects of the game. So he needs all of his guys to be able to do whatever is requested of them and creates well-rounded players. And that's one of his big core coaching philosophies. So Amado is a great result of that. That ball called over the net, which prevents an over call or an over violation from being called. I like the ref's call here. I thought I saw that break the plane.
Yeah, that for sure broke the plane, and the Stunners are saying something different. But now that ball definitely did break the plane, which made it legal for the Matadors to take care of that.
Good read by Isak. Discipline move all the same. Now Vanderbeek hits with a float, going after Chavers. Jair with a high roll shot. And a good middle attack. I saw a touch. Yep, able to score that. And that was dug up in the back row there by number 6. I didn't see this substitution occur, so new outside for the Matadors. That's going to be number 6 coming in. Float down the line. Eisenberg forced out of system. Jarvis is going to set this one over and send it deep. Middle attack goes once again, but Patrice tips that one over the top. Backside does Jair Santiago, off speed. Anyone looking for a swing, but everyone insists on tipping, and more tipping. Roll shots galore, dug by Vanderbeek. Mulero lays out, finds that, and it's going to be free balled over by Serrano, kept in. Oh, no, it is not. Oh, dug off of the chest. Well, there's...
What a crazy unfolding of events on that one. He had the linesman calling it out of bounds over the antenna, the upriff telling him to step down and get back and let these guys play.
And I agree. I think that was in from my angle. It looked good.
You've got the best angle here, and I think that was good. I agree with you.
So I love that. I love that confidence in the upriff, knows what he wants to see, and play continues. Santiago applies the pressure. Mauro Isaac the option here. Isaac shut down by the triple block. The Stunners refuse. They know what they want to execute on from the service line, and the moment they get you out of system, they know that Mauro Isaac or Vanderbeek are your options. You're not going to force it to the back row or into the middle, and they are ready and waiting with a disciplined triple block.
Yeah, give credit to the coaching staff over there for the team in black. I mean, obviously, understanding the situation and being aware of who the server is, what kind of serve he's hitting, and then how hard you're going to work as a block and defense side to get 3 blockers in front of that hitter, right? That's a nice heads-up play and a well-coached team over there by the OC Stunners.
Definitely not the same team that we saw, 5 or 6 weeks ago. They are executing at a level far beyond that right now.
They are stunning the crowd, as you would say.
There it is. Like we said, some of these names we sometimes make. It's a punny, fun joke for us to make on the broadcast. But at the same time, that is who those guys are over there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see that's their brand. That's how they enjoy it. That's how they play the game. They're loud. They're emotional. They're having a great time celebrating their success. They're making the big, kind of eye-opening, kind of stunning plays that, just like their names kind of suggests they will.
All right, we got a 4-point lead here as this technical timeout is coming to an end. Matador still in striking distance, but that means that they've got to be able to close up, a 4-point deficit, and overcoming that right now, it looks like a tough task to say the least.
It's definitely an uphill battle, but this game, Nick, it's a game of momentum, so it could go back and forth pretty rapidly.
That it can be, and that is it going to be a bit of a misfire. But Matadors get it back free, and that's going to hit. Nope. Demi looking for a line bounce there, doesn't get it, and that's going to be a nice side out for the Matadors. A little bit of a misconnection there. Serrano trying to go shoot that 3-ball all the way across to Patrice, but because of the trajectory, it rolls over and gets punched back over, and they get a free ball all the same. Handled by Jarvis. Deep swing by West, and he gets the touch in middle back by Isaac there.
Yeah, Nick West still being effective, obviously, from the front row middle. Offensively speaking, he's probably hitting at a pretty high clip, and when the pass is there, you can see the Stunners like to run quick early and often, and we're halfway through this second set. Middles are still being very involved here.
I missed what happened there. It looks like we've had some either sweat or it's sweat. Okay, I wasn't sure if the sport court broke apart there.
There's a little moisture on the floor.
The Matadors, they've got a little bit of sweat back there, but they are not shying away to use this as an opportunity to buy some time, see if they can ice the Stunners, and take a little bit of a breather.
Well, they've got to start figuring out some kind of answer to the Stunners right now, and they're running out of time here in the second set. Down by 5. Joey Jarvis back to serve again for the Stunners. Big blockers across the front row. Matadors got to start with a pass and see if they can maybe get a quick attack offense going here for themselves as well.
Vanderbeek steps into serve receive, battles with that, and there's going to be some great help from Chavers, and that's going to be another block for the side of the Stunners.
Joey Jarvis now serving 19-13. It's a little help from the tape, and that ricochets off Malero's arms and out of bounds. Joey Jarvis getting a little home court advantage here from the equipment.
And we're seeing that Bustos is being shifted out of the serve receive once again. That's going to be Vanderbeek stepping in. So, you know, Matador's looking for a dynamic option. When I was saying, you know, they're trying to find a way to get Vanderbeek, and, you know, you can find ways that he's able to assist the team. There it is, an opposite stepping in to serve receive. A little bit of Matt Anderson-esque kind of look. Very rare to see oppos that pass as well as they do. So, you know, a good little nod there.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of touched on it earlier as far as players being well-rounded, just volleyball athletes, right? I mean, you can see that opposites usually do go back and forth between hitting right side as an opposite and left side as an outside hitter where they're passing as well. And you talk about Matt Anderson, absolutely one of the better, most well-known globally right side hitters that can also play left side. So, you know, kind of an interesting situation there, but we've seen it from a few other teams kind of take on that strategy as well. And
sideline has a hit, so throw it to him.
All right, during that timeout, we got a little more insight. Over to you, Ira Thor. What are you hearing, my guy?
Oh, thank you, Nick. During that last timeout, the Stunners right now are just very loose on the sideline. They're pleased with the communication of the team. They feel that they are communicating at a high level. The block game right now, controlled by West, they think that they have taken the Matadors completely out of their system throughout. They're pushing to continue that block, to continue to penetrate. Head coach Daryl Adams very pleased. I'll tell you what, during the first few timeouts of this match, they didn't say very much at all. In fact, they kind of just came over, patted each other on the back. But during that third timeout, after the last technical, very pleased with their work as they continue here in the second set. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much for that, Ira. And, you know, it's dead on. When you're getting that many block touches, it really puts you in such control of the game. And I think something that also helps is having Coach Daryl Adams. You know, he's been at the training with these guys in SoCal. He's developing some good rapport and giving the team a little bit more direction. While they're bringing in some big tools, they're also gaining a little bit more direction. And having a formal coach has been a great addition for them.
absolutely, you can see the leadership and you know, some kind of sense of direction. You know, what are they working towards getting better at, other than, you know, maybe just putting 6 guys or 7 guys out onto the floor, right? Really bringing the group together. You can see it's a larger group of players now, and so, you know, coaching volleyball, you got to have some kind of strategy going into a weekend event like this and get better at certain things, and that starts in the practice gym too.
Absolutely, and now Bustos tries to step in, but for the 12th time this match, the triple block of the OC Stunners delivers. What a great move there, and Shaver is not giving anyone an inch on the side of the Matadors. Wow, if you're out of system, he's going to make sure that it only gets worse.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's probably one of the better 3-man blockers throughout this league. And you know he's been doing. He just got back from playing a season professionally in Italy, where you have to work hard and you have to be a well-formed 3-man blocking team in order to score some points, and he's bringing that here to the NVA as well.
Serrano with the float. Backside to Santiago, who's been crushing the ball. That one goes off the ceiling, and Mulero sells out, tries to find a pancake off the ceiling. Not quite able to do so, and I would not be surprised if, yeah, there's a little wipe-up needed here. Great effort. Mulero definitely never going to be the one to quit first. We've already seen several outstanding athletic moves from him.
Yeah, Mulero, he doesn't give up. You know, he almost took out our broadcast squad over here and all of our technology next to us. And right there, you know, that ball ricocheted up off of the rafters and came down with some heat behind it. And Mulero's laying out for it, trying to keep the ball in play. And we've seen him pull that stuff off before in the past, so don't look for him to stop doing that now, just because they're down by 7 points here in game 2.
Isaac takes that with his hands and gets Patrice involved, but Dimi finds the dig. Mulero lays out. Bump set by Serrano, and Bustos has to free ball it over. Eisenberg takes that with his hands. Stunners in system, go to Amado, who is always more than happy to take out the trash. Nick Amado with a huge kill going to the right tee.
Give credit to the good pass in transition and to Nicola, Demi to set the quick in transition there. He knows where Nick was coming in from, and now we've got set point for game number 2 here to the Stunners.
Demi with a float. That's going to be Vanderbeek. That's going to be a tight set. Tried to be saved by Bustos. Goes under, but no interference, therefore no call. Deep swing. Ooh, good. I was a little worried he was going headlong into that wall. Mauro Isaac definitely willing to make the defensive move, joined there by Serrano and Mulero, but the high-swinging, hard-hitting hand of number 15, Jair Santiago, is simply too much to be handled for the Matadors as the OC Stunners take set 2. Wow, this is really delivering in the sense that, Matadors are not rolling over by any means of the word, but the OC Stunners, we want to see them return to form. We have such high expectations for this team.
Yeah.
And, that team, and they know that what they put up in the last event isn't what they expect of themselves. And just like teams like we saw this morning, the other 03 teams, Dallas Tornadoes, Chicago Untouchables, all of them made sure that the personnel and the, the skill set that they're bringing to this event doesn't let them go further into that 0-4, 0-5 kind of hole. They're not satisfied.
Well, yeah, it is good to see the rebound that they went home after that last first event. They thought about what they needed to do. They brought together some other personnel. They went and gotten some new people. Having a coach come in and run the practices and really create a strategy on what they needed to address after that first match. You're seeing it pay off right now. And obviously the physicality of this team, we kind of touched on it at the beginning of the match before we actually saw them play. Physicality-wise, you could see you'd expected something different from the Stunners. Well, we're seeing it now through those first 2 sets where the 3-man blocking has made a huge difference, right? The service pressure from the inline and the well-rounded offense, in serve-receive has really made a huge difference, but then also in transition. When you've got Corey Chavers on the outside or back row hitting out of the back in transition, you've got Jair as the opposite that can clean up on the D like you just saw for set point right there. And you can throw in a couple of quick sets, right? It's that's a much different squad we're seeing right now than we saw previously.
Yeah, and after this match, we're going to have one more great one for you, and that's going to be another SoCal battle. Not a SoCal battle. That's going to be a coast-to-coast. That's going to be the LA Blaze taking on the hometown heroes in Team Freedom, and that's going to be going live at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're at home, that right there on your screen, that is the final one of the day. But worry not, we have a weekend full of volleyball all the same. And if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the NVA USA YouTube channel. All matches are posted there. You can catch the action live. And if you want to know what's going on with the stats and catch up with everything else NVA related, be sure to check out NVAUSA.com and check us out on Instagram at NVAUSA. If you want to see the stories, the behind the scenes, and everything volleyball, the story on the Instagram is jam-packed today with a lot of behind the scenes stuff. You've got ex-Olympian Russ Holmes going with the camera, making sure to show you guys everything you want to see of what it takes to run the NVA. Also want to say a huge thank you once again to JBJ Events. They've been a huge partner in putting this on for the NVA. They made this event happen. There's a youth event going on all weekend long. Also, huge shout out to Mikasa and being the proud ball sponsor of the NVA. But during this timeout, we got not a timeout, but between sets here, we got another great takeaway. Ira, what do you got?
Talk about how influential the blocking has been so far in the Stunners game plan. The numbers through 2 sets, and this is a dynamic stat if there ever was one. 10 blocks already for the OC Stunners, just 2 for the Matadors. And obviously, Amado, Nick West have been doing the heavy lifting, 3 blocks apiece. We'll have an update for that in the post-game show. But 10 blocks through 2 sets already for the Stunners. One reason they are so far out in front.
Wow, that number is absolutely staggering. Ira dropping the knowledge right there, averaging 5 points a game in blocking. That's a great hitter's effort, much less the blocking. That is a huge, huge contributor to the success here. And there's going to be a missed connection going to the Matadors.
Yeah, great point on that stat. Thanks, Ira, for that, because we had been talking a lot about the Stunners block. To get 10 points through 2 sets, that's a pretty lopsided statistic for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Reiterates what we've been saying about their block and defense.
Demi now to float. Just long. That one misses the back line by less than 6 inches, but anything more than 1 is all that matters. And Serrano more than happy to grab that ball, head back to the line at a tied 1-1. Float serve handled by Jarvis. Goes to the middle, dug by Mulero. And now Eisenberg's going to take it. Go to the outside with Shavers. Tipped over the top, pancaked. Free ball comes over. Reset and backside to Shavers once again, but the angle is a little bit too sharp. And the defensive efforts from the Matadors, anchored by Mulero. Oh, that was Mario Meza.
Yeah.
Steps onto the court for the first time, and you'd love to see that. Their second libero, Meza, making a bit of a difference there.
Yeah, great scoop off of that Nick Amado quick attack that Meza just kind of played it off that chest. It ricocheted, bounced back over, but kept the ball alive, and the Matadors got the point.
Quick set to the middle, and that one is not going to be dug. Nick Amado says never twice. Great kill, and you'll love to see Demi getting his middle activated once again. Set him early, set him right, and find the kill. 2-2.
Yeah, Nick Amado's hitting it a pretty good percentage. Nice to see him go back to your middle after making not a kill on that one before.
Hand dug by Eisenberg. Jarvis takes his swing, and there it is. The Matadors take that number 2 and add another tick to the tally, and that goes to 3. Great terminal block there for the Matadors.
That was a well-formed block. Nice to see them. They're going to need a few more of those, through this set to keep drawing it closer.
Back set to Jair. Swings high. Does not find the contact he is looking for, and that one is going to go sail away to the corner and pay a visit to the Matadors bench. Couple game ball touches for the guys over there that may not have hit the court yet. Happy to get them. Now float serve easy to Eisenberg's hands, and Amado once again tracking that one down. Bustos not able to make the move into the corner that he's hoping, and that's going to be a point for the Stunners.
Nice choice by the Stunners there to go quick. I feel like kind of get the ship righted really fast, a perfect pass, get it over and quickly and set the quick attack, move on to the next play.
Amado with the float down the line, passed by Bustos. Meza helps out with a one-handed stab. Isaac tries to keep that one alive. That's a tough ball. Again, I've talked about this briefly. One of the worst spots for a team to have to manage is when a ball goes to left front or zone 4. The setter is so far away. Your outside hitter is getting ready to hit. There's just no one home, and so that's going to be a tough ball for the Matadors to manage. Backside set, and that's going to be a huge swing. New oppo in. That's going to be number 9. Dug by Meza inside his breadbasket there. Swing over the top, and that's going to be a kill for Isaac.
So we're seeing a couple of adjustments here by the Matadors with, Meza, the new libero, and that was, I believe, number
George
9.
Cabrera.
George Cabrera coming in. We saw him get some action in the first event a few weeks back, playing opposite here for the Matadors.
Overpass, and that one's going to be thrown right back down. Patrice says thank you for, that was Gabriel Cruz. He just says thank you for the easy point, throws that one right back down off of a nice serving effort there from Martin Patrice.
Interesting to see how the Stunners respond to this little adversity as we continue. And
how do they respond? Well, it doesn't matter because that response is shut down. The Bic is blocked straight back down, giving the Matadors their 4th terminal block. Number 18, Gabriel Cruz, stays home and camps, puts up a 10. Backside to Jair, another great block touch, jammed over the top. Matadors swipe, and that one, right now, anytime we're seeing the Matadors get to a scrappy play, they're making the better move, and it's really working for them as they extend this lead to 8-4 as we go into the first technical timeout.
Yeah, 4-point lead for the Matadors is kind of uncharted territory for them so far through this match. But, again, seeing some adversity for the Stunners, I'm curious to see how they respond. Because characteristically in the past, this is where things have kind of started to spin.
Yep.
And that hasn't always been really good for that squad. So, started out with maybe a not-so-good pass from Joey Jarvis, and then it's kind of compounded by a hitting error, block. Chavers got blocked there, which was a nice block move by the Matadors. But really, how are they going to respond out of this technical timeout? The Matadors have kind of leveled up a little bit. They've matched them. They've created some momentum. They're starting to cheer for their plays when they score the points. And the Stunners kind of, they've been knocked back a little bit here, and they need to see what they can do coming back after this technical timeout.
Hitting the nail on the head as always, Matt. And one of the big things that we see is when teams have gone down 0-2 today, they will not go quietly into that night. So we see those, every team makes adjustments. When you're down 0-2, personnels change. So we saw last match with the Stingers, they put Storm Ngata Tafunga on the right side. They brought in Paul Clark to take his spot on the outside in the absence of Jake Langlois. Worked wonders, and they pushed the Ramblers back, almost getting that reverse sweep. Now we see the Matadors, new libero, new opposite, seeing what they can get done there. Obviously keeping in, the new outside with Diego Bustos, who they brought in halfway through game 2. So not afraid to go into their bench. They trust those guys to get it done, and getting it done they are. But Nick West ready to answer back. No libero on the court means that's going to be a free point for West.
Nick yawning there, maybe saying it's just too easy.
Business as usual for Nick West. The Nick duo middles are just some of the funniest, lighthearted guys that are such a huge part of keeping your court emotions under control. They're great regulators of that.
Yeah, very much so.
West resets it. Go to that Bick once again. Good triple block help. Reset. And there's another big line attempt that does not work. And, this is that thing that we've talked about a bit. Sometimes those big middle moves requires that your middle's landing behind the pin blocker in order to close that out. And we've now seen 2 times that Nick West ends up on the ground as a result of that blocking effort. But he refuses not to make it.
Yeah, he's working hard, and if your momentum takes you out offside the court and you're on your butt for a minute, that's okay too.
And there is that big swing, Jair Santiago. He started a little bit slow on the service line, but that's going to be his second ace of the match so far, really putting the pressure on. And you want to see how the Stunners answer back? There it is, a 3-point run on the back of Jair Santiago. Crushes the ball.
You said it. You said it. He's got hard angle and he's got down the line, and I think he just went back-to-back at both of them for back-to-back aces. So Jair stepping up his service game like we asked him to, being down by a couple points, and right now we're tied at 8s, and the Matadors are going to call an early timeout to try to ice him here a little bit, but
you better.
Yeah.
I mean,
do something.
If you've got a 4-point lead and just that pressure is what's able to bring it back, that offensively the Stunners are more than ready to keep carrying along with the way they have been. Shavers firing away, a bunch of blocking prowess, and Matadors back on the back foot once again. If you're number 6, Diego Bustos, you can't help but feel like you're next.
Put your helmets on and just try to get in front of it. Put your arms away from your body. Your butt down, bend your legs, and just pop that ball up in the middle of the court and see if you can side out that way. It doesn't have to be a perfect pass, but it can't be a clean ace either.
That's really one of my favorite terms in volleyball is putting your helmet on. I just think it speaks so true to the power that guys are hitting here that you're, stepping into some of these swings. In all honesty, it really can be dangerous. I took a ball off the head from Jair Santiago at practice the other day. We stopped play for 2 minutes, making sure I was good to go. He hits that ball hard.
Do you remember what day of the week it was?
It actually took me a second. It was a Sunday. I almost said Wednesday because we practice Sundays and Wednesdays. But he's got that hammer for sure. Goes backside. There's a huge swing down the line. That's exactly the kind of contribution we want to see from number 9, George Cabrera, getting it done over there.
Yeah, nice swing by the opposite coming in this match, this set to make those contributions like we've been talking about.
Great pass by Chavers, backside. Jair gets as close to that line as you can get without going over. But he is clean, and so is his swing. Great kill from number 15.
Jair's just kind of hitting the ball with a little bit heavier arm, I feel like, from the end line and from the back row. This contact just feels like it sounds a little bit different. I don't know if what he's been working on in the practice gym, but obviously getting some reps off of your blocking and hitting off your head has really helped him out.
Always, it gets him going. So the big thing is whenever he's able to keep that ball in front of his swinging shoulder, that's where he really just finds the power alley swing. So working out well for him. And once again, another block. To no surprise, Corey Chavers paired with a middle, and that gets it done for number 11. Ira Thor always dropping the knowledge for us. Great little tidbits there to hone us in on what the blocking stats are really looking like, and the OC Stunners deliver once again.
Yeah, pretty impressed with Corey Chavers' blocking so far in this game.
Wow. I mean, we're seeing some misses from Stunners on the service line, but not by more than a tile of sport court, which are, I believe, a foot by a foot. And that is a close miss. Love to see the pressure. And Matadors now tie it up 10-10 with Isaac on the back line to get some damage done and get some points back for himself. Friendly bounce off the tape. West goes to the back one. And Demi just knows exactly what he wants from his team.
Yeah, really seeing some great passing from the Stunners. It's really allowing them to run their offense basically at will when the pass is up to the net and Demi can choose whoever he wants to set. He's got 5 hitters coming down pretty much every single time. It's going to be pretty tough for the Matadors to stop.
There's Nick West going back at it, gets the overpass back in system, and Nick Amado with a little bit of a noodle arm goes over the top, lets it loose, and just snaps that one down through the block.
I don't really know what you were going to call that, sort of a tip slam throwdown type thing, but whatever it was effective. Worked out nicely for Nick and the Stunners.
Hey, he's a big guy. He's got to eat. That's a full plate of spaghetti right there. Nick West is hammering balls, and this is what is so terrifying about this team. They feed off each other's energy. They've got a variety of looks, whether it's their serves, it's their swings. There are so many experienced, well-rounded players. West has spent several seasons playing overseas. He's seen high-level play all over the world. And once again, you put him on this court, he's going to make a difference. Good pass there by Bustos. Just long cruise, not able to find the court or the touch. And the Stunners are running away with this one a bit. They were down by 4 at 8-4. They are now leading by 4 at 14-10.
Yeah, they've had a nice rebound since that technical timeout at 8-4, and you're going to see the Matadors take a timeout here to talk about it, but probably a good choice by them because the Stunners really have generated some momentum on their side. That they kind of smell that, taste the blood in the water a little bit, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, that window is starting to close quickly here, and unfortunately, I think that the personnel they've got on the court is the best look they've had so far, but just the serving pressure from the Stunners, I don't wish it on anyone, to be honest. I mean, the way the Stunners are playing right now, they're a quick contender for being the best team in the league.
Well, yeah, I was thinking that same thing. I didn't want to jump to conclusions just quite yet because they still technically are 0-3, right, in the standings. And, there's still a long ways to go. But, yes, they do look very good. I'll agree with you. Pretty impressive on all aspects of the game right now. From passing to even defense and a new libero, and obviously their serving has been strong. Their blocking has been by far some of the best blocking we've seen today.
Yeah.
And offensively speaking, they're siding out at a pretty high percentage. So, yeah, they look pretty dangerous.
Meza able to battle with that serve from West, a tip off the top. West lays out and finds a nice one-handed back, keep that alive, but Jarvis not quite able to find the second touch. Matadors able to battle that out and find the side out of their timeout.
Gotta love seeing a 6'8" middle blocker go diving for a ball to keep it in play when you're up by 3 or 4 points. And fortunately for Nick, that just didn't come back to keep it playable. But gotta applaud the effort.
Eisenberg with a great pass goes to the middle. There's another middle effort on the defensive dig. Jair Santiago hammers the D ball into a double block there of Bustos and Patrice able to.
Sorry, Nick, don't mean to cut you off, but that's the thing right now about the Stunners. So Corey Chavers got tripped up by Eisenberg, so he was out. Pass was off the net. Couldn't really set the quick, so Nick Amado's out. That's okay. We got Jair overhead. We'll just set him, right? So, I mean, there's so many options for the Stunners right now.
It's just
it's
if
gonna be
not
tough to
A, then
stop.
B. Yeah. High pass. It's going to get that D-ball swing. That one's going long, but a touch is called. Joey Jarvis quick to shuffle over and have a little discussion, but everyone agrees. And, that's one of those things when you guys are on the same page and it stops the conversation, you don't lose your momentum. You love to see that. Stunners bring it back really quick. Now Serrano trying to open this up. And there's Amado once again, just going to Pound Town. That right tee is his baby right there. What a kill.
I was speechless after Nick hit that, but now I'm even more speechless when you drop the Pound Town call.
Yep, there it is.
Another Nick Amado kill.
The best part, that technical timeout gets called, and to speak to who he is as an athlete, Amado just turns around and starts yelling from the moment he's at the net to off the court, getting his guys fired up. And that's what you want to see. These guys are really minimizing. We talk about they're a team with high peaks and low valleys. They've minimized the valleys. Whether it's their on-the-court presence, it's their just all-around defensive and offensive efforts. And the one name we're not giving enough credit to that I think might be the most important piece here is Demi, number 43. He knows when to go where. He's identifying the blocking mismatches. He's setting up an offense that they're going to the BIC, they're going to the D-ball. Different games could be characterized by different offensive schemes all together. And preparing your defense around something that's so well-rounded is a thing of nightmares.
Yeah, pretty impressive debut here for number 43 from the Stunners. It's nice to see him being able to run a very well-formed offense. He's very technically sound with his setting technique, and he's doing a great job so far.
Bumps at backside, dug by Chavers. Going to be a net called, and Jair got a little greedy going after that one, and Cabrera able to force a little bit of an undisciplined block move there. Nice break for the Matadors. They're down by 3. Still some room and a little bit of time, but they've got to start pulling the trigger and see if Bustos can get a little bit of momentum going for them.
Yeah, they got to find something, or else they're going to run out of time here pretty quick.
Yep. You feel like with how many threatening servers there are on the side of the Stunners, you feel like you're just one more big run away from just ending this one in a 3-0.
It's like you're kind of you're going uphill. You just can't get any traction at all because it just keeps coming at you.
Isaac with a good pass. Now he gets his chance to rip it, but there's another block covered up and a rally extended. Cabrera rolls over the top, covered by West, and Chavers throws it deep, takes Serrano out. Meza sets to the outside. Cabrera goes once again, but that is blocked right back into him.
The blocking display just continues for the Stunners. I mean, it was another well-formed block. Joey Jarvis now getting involved. We haven't said his name very much in the blocking department, but he got all of that one as Nick, closed that block with him as well.
Makes defense a lot easier when you got 4 terminal blocks on average per game right now. One-handed back set. Oh. Did he get? No, that was out. I thought Joey Jarvis followed that up with a one-on-one. Sometimes I'm quick to just stop talking because I can't believe what I see, and I've got to see what the call is. That was just...
It looked good until we saw what the referees did, and that block went out of bounds. But
that's a nice swing by Cabrera, able to earn a point there for the Matadors. But just these float serves into the net are killing them. The Matadors, when they were finding their best success in Event 1, they were crushing jump serves. They were going after it and ready to, make an error on that. But float serves short into the net is just not the mistakes they want to be making here.
Yeah, not at this point in this match when you're down by 5 and down 2-0.
Jair Santiago hammers that one home. Isaac on a little bit too aggressive of an approach line there, given the pass that was made. And, that ball's going to go over his head when Serrano tries to pull it out of the net. And we are now at 20-14.
It's going to be tricky to determine who's going to be the player of the game here for the Stunners. Okay.
And there's the ace.
Jair just continuing to dominate from the inline. This is his second service run that he's had, another ace added to his totals here. I'd like to see him come back this one and just continue to bomb away. I don't want to see him roll shot it or anything like that. Just go hard at the ball. Jair.
Keep attacking it.
Hit it hard, yeah.
You've given yourself a 7-point lead. You've earned that 7-point lead. Earned some big swings on the back line.
Yeah,
and he does. Great pass by Meza. Handles that well. Isaac overrunning. Isaac, he kind of overruns that when he's able to make it work. But so to also kind of speak to that that tempo, a lot of teams, when the closer you get to your outside, most teams start to run their outside on an even faster tempo. And that's where they're going to look for kind of almost a one tempo, like a quick, a true quick.
Yeah, you're sort of splitting the difference. As the setter runs across the court, you're talking about that set to the outside then comes lower because it keeps the hitter in tempo.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's where there was a little miscommunication there, but Isaac able to find a successful kill all the same. And now we're going to see a serving substitution coming in for number 9. That's going to be number 14. Alan Torres now looking to see if he can get a little bit done. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's actually a setter as well. Maybe I'm wrong here. I'm not sure what position he is. The thing is that we'll see Matadors will let Serrano swing. And so, the front row, Serrano might actually be hitting right now, but we'll have to take a look. Little debates going on right now on the court. Not sure what it's about. Possibly a little bit of just getting some stuff right in the books over there. But we'll have that shored up shortly for you. Once again, a little bit of a recap. This is we're in set 3 if you're just joining us, as the OC Stunners take a 6-point lead at 21-15. Matadors trying to fend them off. And a hand pass by Chavers gets him in system to go right into that big attack. Demi delivering just another pot of gold for Chavers to bury into the corner of the court against the Matadors.
It's the well-rounded offense continues firing on all cylinders right now, Nick, for the Stunners. And we've got Corey Chavers just absolutely flying out of the back row. Jair bombing back row attacks. Unfortunate miss serve there, but got a nice little cushion here. So just can you bounce back with a side out and keep this train rolling,
And my guess looks like it was correct there. I think we're going to see Alan Torres as the setter right now. Chavers just airs that one out in the middle of the court to get the set back. Tight set, reset, one-handed touch there by Eisenberg. Back to Chavers. Chavers goes 4-4, beats the inside block. And as the block drifts by, he opens the window and just hammers that into the zone 4 hard angle.
Yeah, that seam opened up for him. He took full advantage of it, crushes that ball cross court, wrist away. Something he did a lot when he was playing for the Gauchos up there at UC Santa Barbara.
West has also been a serving force, but like we said, they are really able to capitalize on their ability to go after serves because they've got such a lead right now.
Yeah, at this point, they have no reason to hold back on their serves. They've gotten them to where they are right now. So just a couple side outs. And here we see Chavers on the left side get a little deflection. Back row attack by Isaac, and he scores a point. So nice heads up, out of transition play by Isaac. He's flying out of the back row to kind of clean up that little messy play that was happening as Matadors now down by 5, 18 serving 23. Gabriel Cruz serving now, passed up by Jarvis.
Dump over the top, picked up. Now they go for their first big attack that I can recall. And Mauro Isaac gets a nice kill out of the back. And Stunners unable to handle that one. Getting a game ball touch myself right now.
Nick, if you were paying a little bit more attention, Isaac hit a bick on the one right before that, too, for a point.
Oh, well, apologies. I was kind of getting some stuff shored up on my end. So thanks for filling in and making sure everyone at home knew that, you were so on top of it.
I just want you to give credit to the player, where it's due.
Hey, credit where credit is due. Number 12, Mauro Isaac, is definitely an offensive force, and we'd like to see that bit continue, not just right now in this match, but throughout this weekend. It is such an authoritative prowess that he can establish, but that serve is going to go just wide there for Gabriel Cruz.
Match point now for the OC Stunners, Nick.
A little 3-0 back-to-back would be, a bit of a shock here after some of the knockdown drag-outs we've had all morning long, but Demi goes back for the float now to see if he can get it done. Backside and to no surprise of anyone, Corey Shavers gets a block back into Serrano to wrap that one up. And you said it best. How do you pick a guy to be the player of the match? Jair Santiago contributing aces, big kills. Shavers, a huge part of that blocking offense, or blocking defense, and huge kills on the outside. Eisenberg delivering dig after dig, keeping him in system. But I think at the end of the day, what you've got to acknowledge, when you've got all of these guys hammering balls home, there's one guy making it happen, and that's Nicola Dimi, number 43, the new setter, and just a huge leader on the court for the OC Stunners.
I agree with you. Nicola really coming in and running a really solid, strong offense. We talked about it in that third set. Technically, his technique, his setting technique is just on point, right? Yep. Debut, this is his first match in the NVA, comes out, gets a clean sweep, understands what the importance is of these matches, where they're currently ranked at 0-3 from the first weekend. Come in, get a nice sweep, get 3 points on the board for their team, really run a well-balanced offense throughout that entire match. And, yeah, absolutely, MVP of the match should be for Demi.
Yeah. I mean, it's great, right? Like, we're seeing a very different vibe right now. These guys, the Stunners, are fired up about it. They know what's going on. The attitudes are high, and if you are tuning in for the first time, you would not believe me if I told you that this team was 0-3 off of Event 1.
Exactly. Yeah, what do you mean, Nick?
Yeah.
What do you mean, 0-3? No way. No way. That team can't be 0-3.
Well, they're 1-3 now, and they are ready to begin climbing the ladder. We've seen, we've had a couple eyes on the standings. Actually, if my team is able to toss the standings up, we can have a little quick discussion about where we started the day, and so you can understand what kind of uphill battle the Stunners kind of have given themselves, given how tough of a 0-3 start really puts for them. But so for right now, they're 1-3. That's going to be a great effort for them. Really gives them a strong starting point. I know this weekend they're going to be playing the Las Vegas Ramblers as well. I can't remember that third match off the top of my head, but that's going to be another huge fight.
Yeah, it's a good test. I mean, obviously going 0-3 based on our point accumulation system that we have, they're still going to be well behind, the top guys, the top teams in their conference. But it's a season-long chase, right, to finish in those top 4 of your 5 teams in that conference. Yep. Obviously, this is going to help. They're still in a bit of a hole, right? And they still have 2 more matches that they need to win this weekend, obviously. Preferably 3 games each time if they could get the sweep for them. I know you'll say differently, but, a win is a win no matter what, as long as they can keep accumulating those points to help them get towards and prepare for the final seedings into that final event.
Absolutely the case. And one of the biggest things that I might takeaways, we're kind of nearing the end of day 1, is that all 3 of the 0-3 teams, the Stunners, the Untouchables, and the Tornadoes, they all went back home and said, plain and simple, this isn't enough. They overhauled rosters, they brought guys in, and I love that. That speaks to the competitive nature of our teams here in the NVA. They're not okay with a tough event. They're not okay just saying, this is what it is, we'll kind of just make it work. No, they find the big guns, they recruit, they find top-level players, they bring them into the gym, they get them wearing those flashy purple, the red, white, and blue, the black and teal, and they make sure that those guys are there to deliver.
Yeah, absolutely. With a sense of urgency, they've come back to this event. They understand what's at the task at hand, and they're addressing it right now.
And even the Matadors, right? I mean, with a tough weekend, the first event, they were 1-2. Before we go any more, we've got a player of the match going live here. Ira Thor, over to you.
Thank you, Nick. We're along with Nicola Dimi. Your first match in the NVA, what was it like to be on the court in this environment?
It was amazing. The level is really high, and it was just so much fun playing with the guys, and we came out tonight, so it was amazing.
You guys came in having dropped all 3 matches during the April part of this schedule. You came out, your first match with this team, helped really control a well-paced offense today. What do you think the chemistry's been like so far with you new to this team and how well you played as a team overall?
I think it was good. I don't think it was perfect. It's not at the level we want yet, but guys did a really good job of fixing balls and doing what they could. And we had some really high moments and some not so good moments, so we'll keep working on that.
Obviously, the blocking today was fundamental to the victory. Can you talk about just the communication level that allowed that blocking to have it really at a high pace? You guys had 10 blocks through the first 2 sets and really shut down any Matador comeback bid.
Yeah, I have to give a shout out to our middles, both Knicks. They were monsters today, and honestly, they just talk a lot before points and during points when the picture changes on their side. So credit to them because they had our heads on straight, and 10 blocks, that's a lot, so proud of them.
And then finally, obviously, this is the first match of a long weekend of volleyball. You guys still are trying to learn each other, you being new. What do you need to do through this weekend to be successful and be able to have an opportunity to be still playing in July?
I think we just have to stick together every moment. It's not always going to be easy, so any good team knows that it's in the bad moments that you have to stick together and play as one. So as long as we stick together, keep talking, I think we'll be fine.
That's Nick Amado. He's our MVP of our 4th match today, his first appearance in the NBA, and what an appearance it was as the Stunners victorious 3-0. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much. And I mean, it really, hearing him, the words of a leader, right? Like, he grabbed that game and just steered it like a true captain that he is.
Yeah, you want to hear that from your setter, your floor captain, the guys that's basically running your offense and kind of leading the ship there. It was good to hear from Nick, for sure.
It's just an incredible effort all around. I think we finished up with right around 13 to 14 terminal blocks. That is almost 5. I mean, that is its own hitter.
Yeah, that's a huge contribution for point scoring opportunities for sure, and scary for everybody else in the league to see the Stunners get 15 blocks in 3 games.
Absolutely, and while that was a great return to form for the OC Stunners, we have one more amazing match queued up for you. As we're here in Atlantic City, we've got Team Freedom looking to defend their backyard against the LA Blaze, who is trying to continue a great season so far. We've got the 2-1 Blaze taking on the 3-0 Team Freedom. What a great way to end an already sterling day 1 here at Event 2.
Yeah, looking forward to this match. It's a great nightcap. Should be a really highly competitive game between 2 evenly matched teams, and you kind of got the home court advantage on one squad and a cross-country flight on the other one, and can't think of a better way to finish off day 1 here.
Well, that's going to do it for us here on the end of this day. Set number 4. We've got number 5 coming just underway at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure to tune in if you haven't already. Like and subscribe, follow on YouTube, and we will see you guys back here at the Harrah's Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. We'll see you there.